Welcome once again, everybody, to BIZ NCAA football. Week 4 is upon us. Looking forward to a winning week. Michael Jackson to kick it off for us. Right on cue, there's a plane flying overhead. Thanks for that. Welcome, everybody. It's a great day, great weather here in Northern California once again. If you want to know why it costs an arm and a leg to live in this place, it's because of days like this where there's no humidity. It's like 73 degrees with a little breeze. It's a phenomenal weather day once again. Glad to have you with us. Looking forward to week 4. Ragging on some hip-hop stuff a week or two ago, so thought I'd play a little classic R&B. And if you don't like Michael Jackson, anybody want to criticize this guy, at least musically, you're nuts. I'm not going to get into his personal habits. I just like the music, and for me, this album, Off the Wall, for me, is one of his best. I know people like Thriller, all of the commercially popular hits there, Beat It, Billie Jean, Give Me Off the Wall. Great album. Anyway, looking forward to week 4. Last week, took some tough beats, 9 and 10. Just a slight negative units, 1 loss for the season, but nothing to be alarmed about. We're going to get back on track this week, so enjoy the MJ there for another few seconds. We'll get into the review of last week's plays. Thanks, Mike. There you have it, 9 and 10. Some absolutely sickening beats. Kansas State, I told you guys, that was my best play of the day. Wasn't a Biz Best Bet. I forgot to do a Biz Best Bet again this week. Next week I'll have to remember. I was doing Biz Best Bets for the NFL, but I really need to start doing that for college because I loved Kansas State last week. I just gave it as a 1-unit play. Upset, outright winner, getting a touchdown and a hook. That was just a great win. Pitt, real quick, Pitt. I don't know what this coach was doing last week. If you watch that game, they're down 17-10 with 5 minutes to go. They're on the 1, 4th and 1 from the 1, and you try to kick a field goal and miss it. I don't understand how a 17-point dog doesn't go for it on 4th and 1 with 5 minutes to go down a touchdown. Just mind-boggling, that decision. If I'm the AD, I either fire him immediately or he's done at the... I can't have you coach my team. I'm sorry. You're not coaching my team like that. Akron got stomped. Alabama, there's the first bad beat of the week. Now, if you're watching this, you wager on football. And if you wager on football, you watch Scott Van Pelt Monday night's bad beats. And Sunday night, I'm talking to a buddy at work, and we were going over the football. And I said, I took 3 beats yesterday, and I guarantee you all 3 will be on Scott Van Pelt. He says, nah, not all of them. I says, yeah, all of them. I said, I'll tell you what, if all 3 are on bad beats, you buy me dinner. And if just one of them's not there, just one, I'll buy you dinner. Well, Monday night, he was buying me dinner because all three of them got there. I'm sure you'll watch them. Bama, the roughing the passer call on 4th down, it ends the game. Next play, touchdown. From cover to non-cover. Florida, Kentucky. Florida just trying to run out the clock after Kentucky misses a field goal. 3rd and 7 with 40 seconds to go. 75-yard touchdown. Texas Rice first half under. We pushed thanks to a 58-yard field goal. The under for the game. Rice scores a late touchdown with a minute to go, and then Texas returns to kick 95 yards for a touchdown. Unreal. Now, we did get the lucky Clemson cover instead of push, but we still lost. That was a 5-unit flip. The push is 1. The other 2 games are 2 apiece. That's a 5-unit switch. So you go from losing 2 to winning 3 based on that. And again, these are not excuses for losing. We lose, we lost, we own it. But again, it's the margin of winning and losing is so thin, can be so razor thin sometimes. Unless you're one of these guys that goes, 93-1 and are ready to give you out their 9-star lock of the week. Those guys don't lose, but the rest of us do. And we're down 2.7 units for the season. That's Stewie. He's running around chasing birds or something. So a disappointing week. That one other game, the Iowa game, I really blew this one. I should have given this out as a money line play. I actually played at minus 120. When I looked up my book and saw the line was minus 120 for the game, I just took the minus 120, and shame on me for not suggesting that minus 120 on a minus 1.5 favorite. Iowa, as you know, they won by a point. They didn't cover the 1.5. If any of you did grab the money line, nice job. For the rest of you that took the 1.5, my apologies. I owe you one, because that was just a poor play by me on the video to not have you take that 120 minus 120. So again, that was another one that would have made you go 10-10-1 if we just take the money line there, but we didn't. I blew it, and my apologies. 9-10-1. We lost 2 units. We're down 2 units and change for the season. We're right at 50%. But like I say, it's a long season. A lot of weeks to go. We've got 10 weeks of regular season. We've got the bowl season. Everything's gonna be fine. Don't sweat it, folks, at all. There's the record right there. Okay, one good week, one bad week, one kind of week, and we move on. So let's go to the place. All right, road dog of 6 or more. The total's under 49. We want an unranked team that runs it well. Average rush yards is good per game. You see the record. Nice, healthy sample size of over 200. Well, not over 200. Yeah, right around 200 plays. There's the record. I'm not going to keep repeating these records. I post this stuff so you guys can read it. So I don't want to just, every time I get to a screen, recite the record that you could easily see. And since these systems we use more than once throughout the season, I'm not going to keep repeating the record. You see the record right there, guys. What I will go over is the parameters of the game and why we're playing it. You see their road dog, total unranked, and they run the ball well. Tennessee and Kentucky. Now, 2 things. Make sure that these totals are 49 or below. They're right at the ceiling. Okay, Tennessee's a 49, Kentucky 48.5. If those totals move out of range, make sure you pass the play. Okay, they are not plays if that total's out of range, and make sure Kentucky is getting 6 or more. If that drops below 6, they're also a pass. So Tennessee and Kentucky, our first 2 plays. Tennessee's playing Florida. They lost their quarterback Franks last week, but their backup's pretty decent. He's pretty solid. So Tennessee's going on the road. Let's see if this sorry ass team could keep it within 2 touchdowns. What a mess of a program that is. They went from a really solid SEC program to just one that they just can't get out of their own way, changing coaches left and right, losing games that they shouldn't. Really disappointing program right now, but we're going to take them getting 14.5. Watch the lines. Here you go. Coastal Carolina, Temple, and Wyoming, first half in game. Now, if you're one of those people that doesn't like to play lots of units, lots of games, you could go half unit on each of these. For grading purposes, I'm going to grade on a full unit per play. If you just want to invest a half unit a full unit in the game, half unit per side, you could certainly do that. Or you could just play the full game. I'll leave it up to you. I'm playing both. I'm grading both as a full unit play. We're playing on a road team that's off of a home game. Last 2 games, they played really good defense, scoring-wise, and their opponent's off of a big loss. Their opponent got blown out. Those are the 3 plays. We have Coastal Carolina playing at UMass. We have Temple. They're playing at Buffalo. And we have Wyoming playing at Tulsa. 3 games. Do what you want with the first half, full game. But those are the 2 plays there, okay? Next one's pretty similar. It's a road favorite, small dog to 3. Total is over 49.5 or more. Again, the last 2 games they played really good defense, and the opponent this time not necessarily got blown out, but they were in a high-scoring game. Last week we split these games. Bad loss with that Bama, good one with Clemson, 2-2. You see the record again, a nice healthy sample size. Coastal Carolina also triggers this one, but we're adding Baylor and Oregon to the mix. Oregon's playing Stanford. This is not your typical Stanford team. They got blown out at UCF. They got blown out by USC. They've lost their quarterback. I'm not sure if Costello's playing, but it's not going to matter. Oregon is really playing well. They're playing a lot of points. They had a very disappointing loss last year to Stanford. I believe it was last year where they had that game won, and they let it get away from them. This game has gone from 8.5 to 10.5, and we're going to take Oregon. I know it's on the road at Stanford. Stanford's got a lot of pedigree, very proud program. But this is not the same Stanford team. Their defense is a really big disappointment. It's not the defense that they've had in previous years. And we're going to go ahead and lay those points. It's, again, it's kind of a square play. But Oregon does pop up as a play here. So we have to take them. They're getting a lot of public support too, which I hate. But data says Oregon would take Oregon. And in Baylor, they're playing Rice. Rice owes us after last week's kickoff disaster. By the way, I'm out in my backyard again. You hear birds and whatnot. Kind of a nice little background noise here. So that's what you hear. Baylor. We're going to take Baylor also. High-scoring team. Playing Rice, who's not very good. Rice is not very good offensively at all. So we're going to take Baylor to hopefully blow these guys out. Baylor, Oregon, add those to the playlist. Coastal Carolina is already on the list, so we're adding those 2 games. Again, these 2 teams are already qualified in the previous system, but again, a double-digit favorite here off of 2 blowout wins, and their opponent's previous game was terrible defensively. There you have it. You see the numbers. Pretty straightforward. So this is just an added system that bolsters the confidence of these 2 plays. This one, Baylor, again, obviously is already qualified as a play this week. This year we've played, this is the one that's got a really small sample size, and we've talked about small sample sizes and whatnot, but it's 2-0 this year. Oklahoma blew out the Bruins last week. We got the first half of the game with them, and UCF blew out Stanford last week. We didn't have UCF on my play sheet. It popped up late. I didn't get a chance to add it. I didn't play it either, so it's not like I played it and you didn't. I didn't play the game at all, but it did qualify and it did win, and we have, again, Baylor qualifies this week. Baylor is also a first half play as long as this line stays at 26 or more. Now, Baylor is a play regardless of what their line is, but if they stay at 26 or more, they're going to be a first half play also. Okay? We have Troy, the Trojans. We're playing against, this is a fade system. We're playing against a home dog of 3.5. That's a very bad defensive team whose previous 2 games went over. Troy is at Akron. The shitty Akron Zips, who were abysmal last week against Central Michigan. Now, they were 3-point dogs to Central Michigan and got blown out by 20-something. So Troy, you're already supposed to win by 17. I don't see. Well, I don't want to say anything more than that. Just when you think a team's going to win, this team can't lose, and then they lose. So let's just hope that Troy hammers them. The game is at Akron, so Akron is at home, but Akron is just a really piss poor team. And if Troy shows up, they should blast these guys. Troy laying 17. Again, take the Trojans. 3 plays here. First half in game, a big home favorite. Scored a lot in their last game. They covered also, and their opponent lost their previous game. Again, a nice sample size there. And we're on 3 games. Ohio State, Arkansas, Florida Atlantic. Florida Atlantic is playing Wagner. That line isn't really out yet. I saw on my site it said Florida Atlantic minus 35. The first half line isn't out. I'm guessing it's around 3 touchdowns. If you see Ohio State, they're at 39 minus 24. You figure FAU is probably around 3 touchdowns. We're taking all 3 teams first half and game. Again, do what you want with those. Half unit for each, full unit for each. Just play the full game. For grading purposes, I will grade as a full 1 unit for both first half and side. There you go. SMU 9.5 plus. Grab the points. Make sure the total's under 56. This is a road dog of 6 or more with a line that's dropped and the weather's going to be a little windy. This game has already dropped a 1.5. Let me see what it is real quick. I have it right here. SMU. They opened. I'm sorry. The total. Okay, the total needs to drop. When I say line drop, it says there in the description. Total drop of a 1.5. It opened at 57.5. It's now 55.5. So that's why I put down the total has to be 56 or less. So as long as that total stays at 56 or less, SMU will be a play. They just need to stay above 6, which be shocked if it drops any lower than 6. So monitor that total. If the total is 56 or lower, we're taking SMU. And I would imagine that that's going to qualify as a play. All right, SMU. Colorado. Grab the 8.5. Playing a road dog of between 1 and 2 touchdowns. It's a low total, relatively speaking, for a college game, and it's a conference game also. You see the filters there. You see the record. Really nice sample size. The total's at 50.5 right now, so you're going to want to monitor this game. Actually, I'm looking now. It's 49. That's dropped to 49, so I would imagine this is going to stay as a play. Colorado is currently 8.5. They're playing at Arizona State off of that big road upset victory at getting 15.5 points at Michigan State last week. Big win. Coming back home now, you would imagine that there should be some type of a letdown off of a huge win, last-second win. It is a conference game, so I always kind of wonder how much of a letdown there is when you're going back into conference, and conference games are important. But that was a big win. They've got this series with Michigan State. They won last year at home 6-3. They won this year on the road 10-7. Some really hard-fought, low-scoring games. And this line went from 7.5 to 8.5. We're going to take the points. We're going to grab those 8.5 points with Colorado. Sit on this game. 8.5 is a dead number. See if this game goes any higher. If it ticks down to 8, then grab the 8. But Colorado is going to be a play for us. Now that total's down to 49, I don't think it'll bounce back past 51. So Colorado getting the 8.5. And our last play this week is Charlotte plus 42. They're playing Clemson. We're looking for a big road dog that dominated yards last week. Their opponent's not off of a road loss. It's a non-conference game. We hit it last week with Pitt. The previous week, it was not good. That was the week we had Bowling Green in Central Michigan getting crushed. Charlotte was a play that week that won. And there is one other play. I can't, off the top of my head, I can't remember who it was. But I believe it lost. And Charlotte's not a bad team. These guys could score. I'm not so sure how many points they'll give up to Clemson because their defense isn't the greatest. But Charlotte getting 42. We're going to grab the 42. And if Clemson wins, 56-10, then shit, we lose. But we're going to take Charlotte plus the 42. It's a non-conference game for Clemson. There's really no reason for Clemson to just lay it on these guys. If Clemson wins out, they're in the BCS championship playoffs. Even if Clemson loses one game, well, they're not going to lose this game. So, winning by 90 isn't really going to affect their status. I know about the whole computers and all that, but there's really no incentive for Clemson to just lay it on these guys. So we're going to take Charlotte. We're going to take 6 touchdowns with them and hope that they can be somewhat competitive in this game. So here's our plays. I like to break these down on a Saturday into morning, early afternoon, and evening. Here's the morning, early afternoon games. Early afternoon is usually up to 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, my time, Pacific time, and the afternoon, evening is a little bit later. There are the plays. We've gone over them. You can see them right there. Make sure the totals and lines fall within range. There's just a few of those games this week, Kentucky and Tennessee on this page. Troy, Temple. The first half games, do what you want with them. Half unit each, full unit each, just a full game. I'll leave that up to you. You know, every situation obviously is a profitable situation. So I'll let you decide what kind of risk management you want to do, what kind of aversion you have to risk, how many units you want to risk. Some people don't want to put out tons and tons of units. So if you just want to do a half unit on those games, not a problem at all. The afternoon, evening, again, you see 3 games there with the first half game. Do what you want with those. I want to also talk real quick about volume. You know, people say, you can't win playing a high volume. You'll never win. You know, people play 3 games a day on a Saturday and lose. Okay, it has nothing to do winning and losing with how many games you play. It has to do with how many winners you pick. And if you have 20 situations that are profitable, you play all 20. If you don't, you don't. But this whole idea of, you know, too many plays, you know, the only thing you could have is too many losses. And you could say, well, if you have too many plays, then it's possible to have too many losses. Well, yeah, but you know what the flip side is? You can also have a whole lot of wins. Okay, so volume is doesn't matter. Let me put it to you this way. Let's say you bet baseball. And you bet 3 games a day. Baseball is an everyday sport. Well, 3 times 7 days a week, that's 21 plays. You've played 21 baseball games in a week. Now let's say college football. Let's say you play 21 games on a weekend. What's the difference between playing 21 games in 2 days and 21 games in 7 days? The answer is none. Nothing. Okay, so how many games are there in a week? Well, baseball, there's about 15 games a day, 15 times 7. Let's take out Thursday's travel day. There's not a whole lot of games. Let's go 15 times 9, or 15 times 6. That's 90 baseball games. You ever look at college football Saturday afternoon, how many games there are? Including the Thursday and Friday, Thursday games? There's like 70, 80, 90 games. There's tons of games. So this whole volume thing and, you know, you play too many and, you know, that's nonsense. It's, you find a profitable spot, you play it. I know guys that would look at my play sheet and think, wow, that's all you're playing? They'll play over 100 games on a Saturday. First halves, second halves, full game. They play a monstrous amount of play. So it's all a matter of taste and style. My way isn't the only way. It works for me. Some people are good playing 3 games. Some people are good at 10 and 20. Some people analyze games statistically. Some use situational plays. Some use whatever they do. Whatever you do, as long as it wins, that's all that matters. So when people come out and try to say you can't do this and you can't do that, make these declarations, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. They just love to hear themselves talk and they want to feel smart. Well, they're not. My rant is over. Here are the plays. That's how you get a hold of me. You know the email, biz112763@gmail.com. You want on my distribution list every day, hit me up. Baseball's been good lately. Hockey and basketball start next month. I give those out too. Love hockey. If you like hockey, I'm your guy. I have to go over all my NBA and NHL stuff before the season starts. College basketball also. We were great with college basketball totals last year. Crushing it. We hit like 60-some% of college totals. Focusing on team-specific trends, and we were absolutely killing it. And there's one special trend that y'all know that have been with me that was an absolute ATM machine last couple years. So if you are into basketball and hockey at all, hit me up. Get on my list. You will want to be on my list. Twitter, BizWinners, @BizWinners. I add plays. I already have some NFL up there for this week. I added a college play for Friday. It is Utah -3, -120. Get that. Get the NFL plays before the line moves anymore. That is why I add plays, because lines move. get them. Thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. I have a decent amount of subscribers. Very disappointed in the thumbs up. I can't believe that of all of the views that I can't get more than 3 or 4 thumbs up. Very disappointing, guys. Hit me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Leave me a comment. You like it, you don't like it. Biz, you're great. Biz, you suck. Biz, what about this? If you want me to run a system for you, let me know. I'll run it. Maybe it's profitable. I'll give you full credit on the next video. Hey, Joe Schmo from Idaho came up with this one. Look how great it is. So if you have any ideas, hit me up. Email me those. Spread the word again. If you know anybody who likes football, wagers, watches, what have you, send them my way. Good information. They can do what they want with it, but it's always nice to get another point of view from somebody who's halfway decent, which I feel that I am. So there's my contact information. And that's going to do it, guys. Have a great day, a great weekend. Good luck with your action. Send you away with Dire Straits, Souls of Swing. Love this song. I'm going to let this go till the song is over, by the way, too. NFL will be out tomorrow. Be on the lookout for that. NFL has been phenomenal so far. 15-7-1. The NFL off to a great start. The Biz Best Bet, a winner. And starting next week, I'm going to put out a Biz Best Bet for the college football. I should have had Kansas State as a Biz Best Bet last week. I didn't. I didn't have one this week. And I'm going to start next week with the Biz Best Bet going forward. Makes no sense not to have at least one top play per week, at least, for college football. So we will start the Biz Best Bet next week on that. Don't forget NFL coming out tomorrow. Get on that. Get on the subscriber list. Get alerted. You don't want to miss the NFL. We're off to a really, really good start. Again, thanks everybody for hanging out, for joining me on this journey. Hit the button. Get a drink. Cammy and Tanya will mix you up some nice vodka tonic, margarita, whatever suits you. A little crown on the rocks. You hungry? Hugo over there carving it up real nice on some soft ciabatta. Prime rib sandwich, a little fruit platter for you healthy people. No eating tomatoes with a knife and a fork. If you don't understand what that means, you didn't watch my intro video. You'll be thrown out. Alright guys, back tomorrow with the NFL. Good luck this weekend. Running this Dire Straits to the end of the song, so enjoy it. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow.
Saving it up Friday night with the Sultans, with the Sultans of Swing. Young boys, they're fooling around in the corner, drunk and dressed in their best brown baggies in their platform soles. They don't give a damn about any trumpet playing band. It ain't what they call rock and roll. And the Sultans, yeah, the Sultans that play Creole. Creole. We are the Sultans. We are the Sultans.